I'm going to share with you a method that you can use to determine whether or not a Calvinist is honest. Simply in dialogue with them, you can use the method I'm going to explain, and you'll find out many times that they will say anything to defend Calvinism. In a strange way, there are certain Calvinists who comment on my channel that I'm pretty convinced at this point, it doesn't matter what I say, they're going to disagree with it. I could say the sky is blue. They're going to say, no, it's not. And that's just the way it is. There are Calvinist keyboard warriors ready the moment any video against Calvinism goes out, and they're going to pounce and they're going to tell you why you're wrong and why you don't understand Calvinism and why their theology is brilliant and only really spiritually discerning people understand it and, all that. But here's the method. So anyway, I'm Brian. This is Faith on Fire. I do a lot of videos warning about the dangers of Calvinism, and I'm glad you're here to watch. And I'm going to give you the method right now. Now, I've had thousands of comments over the years now on this channel alone. And even in my private life and personal life, I know certain Calvinists. I've had very interesting dialogue. It usually goes better in person, frankly, than over a keyboard on social media or on a YouTube comment section. But needless to say, I've had thousands of conversations in the comment sections debating with Calvinists. And here's what I've noticed happens quite a bit. And you can put this to test. You can test this out yourself. Now, what you need to do is you need to take a leading voice of Calvinism. It could be John Piper, John MacArthur, R.C. Sproul. Could be someone even long gone, even way back. It doesn't matter. Someone that they respect and follow because they're a leading voice of Calvinism. I'm just going to use in this example John MacArthur, right? But like I said, you could pick any big name. And what you do is you find a quote that explains a core doctrine, a distinctive doctrine of Calvinism, one of the tulip doctrines, for instance. And it doesn't really matter which one. And just take, in this instance, John MacArthur, right? Take a quote from him explaining what it means, what it is and what it means, very succinctly, right? If it's in writing, it's very easy to copy and paste people's quotes and give them that and tell them John MacArthur said this. This is a quote from John MacArthur, something to that effect. Give it to him. And then give him one or two Bible verses that explain why he got it wrong, why it's not biblically sound what he's teaching. Inevitably, right, you're going to find that they will defend the person. John MacArthur, John Piper, R.C. Sproul, doesn't matter, whoever. They're going to defend that person. That's the first thing. They're going to agree with the statement. They're going to defend that person. They're usually often going to come back with some kind of derogatory insult that tells you just don't understand the Bible, but they will have ignored the verses you gave them. They'll gloss right past them and not even mention it, right? And then usually something along the lines of, who do you think you are to go up against a great godly man like that? Something along, who are you to question what the great John MacArthur has taught? That's usually what you get. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Now, go to the same person, get another quote about another doctrine in Calvinism, and take their exact quote, put it in your comment, write to them, what do you think about this? And say nothing about it coming from John MacArthur or John Piper or whomever, right? Leave the name out. Make it seem as if you're saying this, saying Calvinism teaches this, and then put the quote, don't put quotes, just say it. Even though it's a direct quote from, say, John MacArthur. Don't put it like it's a quote from anyone. Just say it's like you're saying it. Calvinism teaches this, and then tell them, and this is biblically wrong. Maybe give the verse or two, whatever. Here's what'll come back. They're going to say, that's not what Calvinism teaches. That's not what Reformed theology teaches. You just don't understand Calvinism, or you just don't understand Reformed theology. Have you ever studied anything? You are misrepresenting what we believe. That's what you're going to get almost every time. And when that happens, you will know that you have someone who is not honest and will say literally anything to defend Calvinism. They'll defend the big names of Calvinism, and they will defend Calvinism itself at all costs, contradicting themselves, proving themselves to be dishonest, and it happens over and over and over again. I've experienced this so many times. So now you have a tool, so to speak, or a method that you can try out yourself when having one of these dialogues. It does take a little bit of prep, admittedly. You got to then go look and see, what these people taught and get a short quote. You don't want to, produce a whole sermon for them, mind you, but, you want to say, okay, here's what's been said about limited atonement or total depravity or perseverance of the saints or, unconditional election or whatever, irresistible grace, or just about God's sovereignty. You could easily find statements from John Piper in particular or R.C. Sproul about their false definition of sovereignty, meaning God's meticulously determined literally everything that happens and everything you think and do. And when you portray that without the quote, they're going to say, that's not what we believe. You're misrepresenting us and you just don't understand Calvinism. But you put the quote on there and say it comes from R.C. Sproul or John Piper, they're going to defend, he's absolutely right. And you just don't understand the Bible. And, whatever, something along those lines. And how dare you talk against those great men? They know so much more than you. They're super giant intellectuals and theologians. Who are you? Anyway, it's fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. This is a short video, much shorter than usual, but it's a little helpful tip you can put to work. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and may the peace and love of Jesus Christ be with you now and forever. Amen. Bye-bye.